Hello and welcome to my first modding tutorial video. Now this one is gonna be for F1 2021 modding, specifically an instruction how to replace the textures on the driver suit, helmets, and gloves. So I'm just gonna show you the first things that you need to set up. You need to you can Google ERP Archiver. Now this is a nice alert there from Avast. ERP Archiver, a very useful, powerful tool. Definitely a must if you want to mod any Codemasters F1 game. So just go ahead, click on the website, download. Now you can either download or just skip ahead and straight to the download. It will take you to this page. You can scroll down, get to the latest version, click that, and then now you've got everything in here. So all you need to do is to just extract them. uh, on some occasions I think it may require some kind of net framework that you have to download externally. If you don't have it, then uh, it will prompt you and let you know which program you need to download, but that's basically it. Once you have it installed or extracted rather, go ahead and open it. So this one is Ego ERP Archiver 8.0.1. Now before you open anything from the game, you need to go to the settings, go to the game directory, and you have to set a directory. So what this does is it will automatically detect the game folder. That way it can just pull out the files uh, immediately, and then by the time you are ready to put in your custom textures, the program will already have set up and know which folders to go to. So just select your game folder F1 2021 inside your Steam folder there. Now that you are all set up, now for this video as an example, I'm just gonna go to the driver suits and gloves. So you can find that inside this folder on the top, 2021 asset groups. Click that. And for the custom drivers, you can find them in, I believe it's the character package. There you go. And actually here, inside the drivers folders, there you can find the real life drivers or the roster, the actual drivers from this 2021 season if you wish to edit those textures as well. But to edit your own textures, the custom driver that you have in the game, you want to go to the team livery. And for this, I already done some editing in my Haas driver suit, but for this one I guess we can check out the Ferrari driver files over here. Open that, and then you got a bunch of these textures under the textures tab. And this program is really nice because it gives you the preview of the textures. Got boots, got caps. This is the logos that goes onto the driver's gloves. That's not the actual gloves itself, but I'm looking for the glove. Here it is. So as you know, the Ferrari driver's glove is a plain black glove, but let's get let's go ahead and edit this one. So in order to pull out the texture, you can go to the texture tab on the top there, and then export. Make sure you select the texture that you want to edit, export, and just put it anywhere. I'll just put it here in my documents. And to edit these textures, I highly recommend Photoshop. And on top of that, you wanna have the DDS Photoshop plugin. Let me just look this up real quick. So it's just NVIDIA Texture Tools Exporter. You can download it. I think it will also give you the instructions. It's basically to just put this in the Photoshop folder, and it's as simple as that. Here we go. Remember, we already exported the textures over here, so let's go ahead and open that in Photoshop. And there you have the glove textures. And just to make a quick edit here, I'll just put a dodge on the glove. And here we go. My favorite. Place it right in the middle of the glove. And for this glove in particular, you've got the top side on the left, and then the back side over here, and then this one on the right is just the smaller pieces that goes onto the fingers part of the gloves. And for me personally, I don't really have a tool like a 3D model that I can use to edit the texture better, but I just experiment and use the game itself to judge how well my custom textures would come out in the game, basically. But now we have our custom glove here. Save that. Make sure you have selected the correct format. That will be the D3D/DDS, and just save it right here. And the name of the file doesn't really matter for this. I'll just call it custom. Click save, and here you have a bunch of options. For this texture in particular, you want to go to the DXT1 because that's what it started as. What I mean by that, while Photoshop is finishing up on saving the file, in the archiver tool, you see here under the preview on the bottom, it tells you exactly the file format. So this one is DXT1 underscore srgb. So that's what you want to match with your Photoshop plugin. Now we finished up with the custom gloss. We can put it back into the file. So go back to texture, select the texture you wanted to replace, and import. Go back to documents, select our new textures, and it will, once you click select, it will pop out another window. So the way these games work, there are two separate files for the game assets. It will save the one first that here in the preview, and then it will save another one at a much higher quality that is separate from the package files itself. Hopefully that would make sense, but you can just click save on that. It will ask you if you want to replace it. Click yes, and there you go. As you can see in the preview, it shows my edited glove right in the preview here. Now for gloves and suit, Codemaster, the way they design the files, they have this logo separate from the glove texture itself. So these logos might get in the way if you don't remove them or do anything with them. Another thing you can do here is edit them, obviously. That's also another way to make your own gloves. But for this one, I will just replace them with uh, invisible texture so they don't show up in the game, which I already made some over here. I believe this one. There you go. As you can see in the preview, there is nothing, so there won't be anything either once I boot up the game. So that's pretty much how you edit the textures in this F1 2021 game. You can experiment as you please. There's a bunch of stuff. You got more things. This is the driver suit. You can also edit. This is just plain without the logos, like the same case as with the gloves, because they have the logos separate on a different texture that go on to the driver suit once you load up the asset in the game. So if you wish to edit the driver suit, you have to keep that in mind, just as with everything else. One thing I want to mention is that for the logos, it uses a special type of textures. So just real quick, I'm gonna export this to documents and then open it up in Photoshop. Here we go, Ferrari logo. Now it will ask you a prompt, this file constant transparency. In order to edit that effectively, you want to check on load transparency as alpha channel. And here it doesn't look like it makes too much sense. It doesn't look anything like what we have in the preview. But if you go down here on the bottom right, you switch to over to channel, and then you can select alpha channel to be displayed or visible in Photoshop. So the alpha channel, what the alpha channel does basically is to cut out the part that is not needed. So it creates a nice logo when the game put everything together. And before I wrap up this one, when you edit the logos and saving them, make sure you select, instead of DXT1, you want to go to DXT5 with interpolated alpha, because that's what the type of file that it begin with. Otherwise, it will not be displayed correctly in the game. Anyway, now we have all that done. The last step you want to do, you don't want to just close the archiver. You want to save this ERP file just to put the bow tie on the present, basically. Don't know if that makes too much sense. Anyway, click save, replace yes, and now we go ahead and check how it looks in the game. Gonna take a minute to boot up. Here we go. I don't have my steering wheel connected
in the
here.
game.
I did edit the Ferrari driver texture, so that's what we want to check. So select Ferrari, any track. Looks like there's been a slight problem there. The texture color is not right. It's supposed to be darker, but anyway, that will be my bad. But however, as you can see, I got my edited gloves already in the game. And that's pretty much it for this tutorial. Fairly straightforward. Hopefully I didn't make this video too long and everything is clear. But if you do have any question, feel free to ask me over in the server. But thank you for watching.